Shanti, good evening. This is kind of a special night to me. As you know from the theme tonight, and the topic is, the theme for the month is Raja Yoga for well-being. And the topic tonight is the benefits of Raj Yoga. Now, we could have brought a panel of seniors here who have 40, 50 years under their belts here. I am excited because our two guests tonight are students like myself. Jane has 8 years and Neeru has 5. And the number of years you have here learning, studying, practicing doesn't really matter. We find some people shoot up meteorically and some people take the slower trail and they get here when they're supposed to. But the reason I'm saying this is that I always felt that, when I was a beginner teacher, the excellent teachers who had the reputation, taught for many years, the older ones, I felt I couldn't touch them. But when I saw a young teacher who had a year or two under her belt, doing very creative things, I could touch that. I could be that. So tonight, our goal is to have you, if you're comfortable meditating and you have things that you want to share with us, we would love the audience participation. Zoom, that includes you, and Brother Eric will do the Zoom chats. And at the end of maybe half an hour, 40 minutes, we will come around and invite you to share your experiences, either questions you have or the excellent meditation you're happy with that you're doing. We're fully aware that some of you already do Raj Yoga meditation, and some of you, I'm talking to you too, people on Zoom, some of you are beginners here. And then there's an array of people in between. How many people are here for the first time? Welcome. Welcome. And anyone else? No, I see familiar faces. Okay, so what we aim to do tonight is make you want to go out and practice what these two wonderful sisters, student sisters, have practiced for so many years. And for me, COVID was a blessing. I've said this before, because it gave me time to become a serious student and to bring peace. So what's the difference? We call Raja Yoga, you know what Raja means? King. We call it the king of yogas. And you're going to find out why tonight, but I will give you a little taste of what's to come, and they will elaborate on all this. With most yogas, what's the goal? What do you think the goal is? Even with Raj Yoga, what do you think? Centering, peace. Yeah, to get into that zone. And you get on your mat or wherever you're doing it, and you get that 20 minutes, half hour, hour of peace. Our yoga is a little different, and you're going to learn how and why if you don't know already. We carry it with us. We take the peace, we wrap it in a package, and we carry it wherever we go. We don't leave the mat. We don't have a mat. In fact, I don't see too many Brahmins exercising too much, do you? It's really hard. You just want to gobble it up, the knowledge. So I think that's about all I'm going to say. I want to introduce our two panelists tonight. Sister Neeru, you want to come on up? Has been a student of Raja Yoga meditation for almost 5 years. She currently works as an IT assistant director at Stony Brook University. And I love the way she says this. She studies and incorporates the jewels of the knowledge for her inner peace, happiness, strength, and decision-making in professional and personal situations. Welcome this evening. And next we have Jane Gries. I've been pronouncing it wrong I know her even before. We happened to both meet here after we knew each other for about a year or two, right? Had no idea. She's a month ahead of me. She took the course a month before. And wonderful, wonderful person, soul. She's been a student of Raja Yoga, so have I, for over 8 years. And she has an MSW in substance abuse and has a very keen interest, I know this personally, in cultural anthropology. Jane loves sharing the inner peace and the strength and the wisdom she has learned from the Brahma Kumaris with her family. She's got a husband, she's got a son, a daughter-in-law, and 3 grandchildren. Yeah. For many years, she says, her heart has been guided to helping those less fortunate to find peace and meaning in their lives. So come on up, Jane. And I will be the MC slash moderator, interviewer, whatever. And we'll get into some nice details about this. Sure. Yeah, no problem. Let me just, So as I said, we welcome questions and comments, but I can't keep hopping down and up with the mic to the live audience. So we'll save them up, okay? A little bit. All right. Maybe we'll do 2 Q&As. All right, ladies. How are you both? Good. Excited? Yeah. Okay, so Neeru, I think the first thing I think we should talk about is what Raja Yoga means to you. And why, if you want to go into more detail, you or Jane, why is it called Raja Yoga, King of Yogas?
I think you already, I think you already touched that a little bit. Yes, so Raj Yoga, as the name kind of states that, and Louise also kind of mentioned, Raja means king. So it's nothing but the king of yoga. King, and yoga is nothing but a connection with God. And yoga, so here for me, Raj Yoga meditation, when 5 years ago, when I saw this term, I said, what does this really do? What is it, Raj Yoga meditation? It was almost 5 years ago. One day I'm like sitting and I see an invitation for that. And I thought meditation is nothing but just sitting, closing your eyes, which I said, I haven't done that before. It's good to take a break on a Saturday afternoon. I said, okay, I can give it a try. So I just go there for the Raj Yoga meditation and just thinking, maybe I'll just calming my mind, sitting and just kind of relaxing. But boy, I was surprised. It was nothing than what I had really had kind of envisioned. It was so rich in knowledge. It was an eye-opening experience for me to be part of the journey those few days, which I had 5 years ago. The knowledge that came to me, it was a blessing. And it made sense. I was not there for specific goal. I didn't have any goal in mind other than just calming my mind and relaxing. But it did kind of enlighten the third eye, like an awakening of the third eye. I felt like something has clicked all of a sudden. And it was something very different, not before. And for me, it was a journey inwards, a journey of knowing myself, which I had never taken out time to actually. I always taking myself as the person, the Neeru, the role, the job, my children, my family. I have 3 children, wonderful husband, beautiful family, in-laws, everybody, parents, everybody they have. And that's how I kind of related myself, but not knowing. So this took me to a journey inwards, a journey of connecting to myself, and a journey to connect with the higher power, to connect with God. And it was a journey where I am the master. I'm the master of my life. I'm the master of this being. When we say Raj Yoga for well-being, the being is nothing but this energy, this consciousness, this awareness that I am, which was totally different than what I thought I was. I thought I was this person. I thought I'm this possession. I thought I'm this all the property, all the position, all the roles which I do. I thought I was that. But no, I was different. I was something more. So Raj Yoga was enlightening. So my first take, and I come back. I took my husband, but my husband fell asleep, honestly. So, but I was like really up in charge and listening. So, but that was fine for him too. But for me, it was, that's what it did to me, that I know that I'm the master, not only of my sense organs, but there's more to that, of my subtle organ, which is my mind and intellect too. And which was totally amazing experience for me to have that awareness. Just that awareness itself was very empowering.
Yes, thank you. Jane, would you like to add to that? What has it meant to you?
Well, certainly that was beautiful and what you shared,
Okay.
very full. In terms of what Neeru said, Sister Neeru, certainly Raja Yoga, I had no idea. I also thought that when I heard about yoga, that it was more about postures, assuming a certain posture. And yes, it's about focusing the mind, etc. But I had no idea when I came what I was actually going to experience. I'm going to take a step backward for a second, that the word human being, it has the being in it. And I never took the time to fully understand what that BEING was in reference to the human. And I have a background, and probably the soul was guided into an interest in cultural anthropology to the point where I did graduate studies, but stopped. And what it did for me, I never during that entire time learned anything about the being, nothing at all, nor did I really learn about the human part of it. And anthropology is a study of man. And here I never learned either of that. And the gift was that when I was given an opportunity, and it actually came indirectly through a 12-step program. I was actually involved in Al-Anon, a 12-step program, as a result of a son who went down a journey of drugs and alcohol. And I was in Al-Anon for approximately 12 years. Probably at the 11th year in 2014, I was given an opportunity. A friend mentioned that there is an open AA meditation at a place called Global Harmony House, and it's offered on Sunday afternoon.
Jane, just define Al-Anon for people who may not be
Yes.
familiar.
Sure, absolutely. Al-Anon, as I said, is a 12-step program. It is a program for those whose loved ones or friend have been affected by alcohol or drugs. They have an addiction, and it's very hard for them with any addiction to just stop. So basically, and this program is so successful, and ultimately I found out the reason why, but it is actually connected with what we learn here. And I didn't know that at the time. The messages that come through there are coming through a divine source, and the divine source, the information that we received, which actually gives those friends and family members an understanding of the individual who has the disease of addiction, that really brings such, that is such a powerful tool, because it allows me, I came there, I'm thinking that I'm coming there for my son, but ultimately I was coming for me to learn about the disease of addiction and how to approach it lovingly, supportively, not out of fear, because I was in abundant fear for the years that he was traveling down that journey. And the program was so gentle, it allowed me to see me in reference to him. And there comes the understanding, the support that I was able to give to him. And ultimately, as I was starting to say, in an Al-Anon friend happened to mention there is a open AA meditation at a place called Global Harmony House on Sunday afternoons. And I always thought that the Al-Anon program should have a meditation attached to it. So I was really intrigued and I said, I've got to go. So I started going. Little did I know the value that I was going to receive from what I receive here. This has been immeasurable in so many ways. As Sister Neeru had mentioned, I had no idea. I thought I was coming to learn meditation. Little did I know what I was ultimately going to learn. It's really more, again, about learning who I am in reference to a divine source.
So you're a soul,
That
not a
I
being,
am a soul.
not a human.
Yes, and that's what I learned. The human being, the being part was what I learned here, is that I am this soul, the being, the spirit, the energy, as Sister Neeru had mentioned. But the gift was, well, what is the human part? Where is that connection? And what I got here was the human part is the divine virtues that we receive. And what are those divine virtues? It's our original nature, the soul's original nature, which is peace, but then it's kindness, it's gentleness, it's compassion, it's all the beautiful things that you can think about that you want someone to hug you with. That is what the divine virtues are. And that's what, comes in this beautiful package here in Raja Yoga. We get all this and I don't want to take up any more time. So-
I'm hearing correctly, is that both programs are very spiritual
yes.
and we focus on the being. And in order to cure people of anything, whether you're officially an addict or you just have some of your isms or sand scars, as we call them here, that you want to work on and get rid of or make quieter, if you're looking for that, then you have to go to a source that is not human. And I know the program says that we look to a power greater than ourselves, which translates to egoless. And we've discussed that so many times here. Would you like to add anything to that before we move on? Sure. Thank you, Jane.
Part which we are saying. So what is really this being? We say it's a soul. Soul, we say, yeah, soul is nothing but our consciousness. It's an energy. It's a life force energy, which is in this being. And that energy which cannot be destroyed, that energy that cannot be hurt, that energy that nothing can really damage that, nothing can kill it. It's immortal. It's imperishable. That's the energy which is in this being. The body, which is as per the second law of thermodynamics, it's a body, it will perish. Everything which is new will become old. Everything will have wear and tear. It will perish, but not the being. So that really takes the fear out. That's what it meant. And the Rajo, other thing I wanted to add was, as Sister Jane mentioned, that who do I belong to? So this meditation, through this knowledge, you actually build relationship with the Supreme. Because the background that I came from, we'd be visiting the temple every Tuesday, to be following certain things. And we were doing from an idol worship without any understanding. I felt I had some connection and relationship with God, but this came to a different level altogether for me. I was able to connect to God, not from the place of where He's the Lord and I'm like really down below. I am begging Him, or it's like more of the devotion type of a thing where there is a difference in the standard. And I am always asking, that kind, do this, do that, and all that stuff. No, this was relationship, any relationship I could have with Him. So it was one of the things which kind of what Raj Yoga meant to me was, who am I? Where do I belong? Who do I belong to and where have come from?
Yeah.
So these three things got answered to me like day one.
Yeah. So we are the children who are being gently guided and pushed to be, and he says this to us, equal. Only we're not saviors,
Yes.
but to be equal in our virtues to God. That's the goal.
Because God's children,
Yeah.
similar to God, his virtues, his powers. That's what we are.
And just to go back to what I was saying before, the peace that we crave on a yoga mat, I'm using that as a metaphor, is something that is limited. It's temporary. We all know that. We go back into this world and we lose it, right? We carry it. As I said, we learn to live it, and you know what that takes. First you learn and then you practice, right? Okay, I'm going to move on because we're going to get down to the nitty gritty now. Okay, you ready, ladies? Souls? Okay, so now that we know what it is, how has it affected you personally? How have you benefited in your life, in your career, in your personal relationships from the study of Raja Yoga? And Jane, you want to begin? Okay.
Well, this is a very powerful point for me to focus in on because what it has actually brought to me, and certainly less stress in my life, to say the least, in terms of how to handle situations when they come. I'm not saying I don't go to a place of being not okay at the moment, but what it gives me is the tools when a situation arises that maybe at moments feeling like you're overwhelmed, or there's a lot of fear surrounding it, or what can I do, or how can I do it? The tools that I've learned here have actually given me the opportunity, because what, as Sister Neeru mentioned, and this is what makes Raja Yoga different from Hatha Yoga, is you literally, it is not just a connection, but you're literally going to another state of consciousness. You are going to another state of consciousness in which the physical, in which ordinarily I would operate and engage in the drama, it allows me to go to a higher state to then engage, but on a level I'm doing it with the supreme being that I call God, or the higher being that I call God.
Yeah.
And then what this was able to do in a situation that I confronted last year, and it was actually over a 7-month period of time, was that my son, as I mentioned, had gone down a journey of drugs and alcohol. He is married, and I have 3 grandchildren, very young. The youngest was born in September of last year, and shortly after September, in the beginning of October, much transpired. My son was still on a journey of alcohol, and he was working, etc. But there was issues, many issues that were happening at the time. And as a result of it, he happened to get into an automobile accident as a result of the alcohol. And what happened from that was that ordinarily, as I said, the situation, because so much was happening, a birth of a new 3rd grandchild, there were issues then around how the marriage was going at the time, because it was a lot to handle. And what was happening was then my husband and I, and also my daughter-in-law's parents, were called in on an on-call basis regularly over those 7-month period of time to come in to be there present with them. And not to make this a long story, because that is not the
Yeah.
point.
What did you do?
This
Let's
is what,
bring in
yeah,
the
that's what I'm gonna,
solution. Yeah.
yeah. So
Because you were amazing. She was amazing.
it's again, that connection that I was able to have. And I just have to say that a lot of that connection too is also in that home, because we learned something about sending vibrations. But to make a long story short, the what was happening was when I would walk into their home, I was literally being able to be present with everything that was happening, all as we call the drama, the birth of a third grandchild, not even a 2-year-old, and a 7-year-old, and a son who was in an automobile accident. Thank God it wasn't so severe that he had multiple injuries, but severe enough that he was laid up for some time. And
Jane, how were you able to do that? How did this work here? Because I know there were times when it
yeah,
was really trying.
yeah,
Let's stick to the
Yeah,
Raja Yoga. How
yeah.
did that
it's
help you?
Yeah, it was, and again, it happens differently for each of us, but because I knew where to go, I knew that if I made that connection immediately, I would get what I needed. And it actually, with me, it may not happen to the next person. It happened that quickly with me. I was able to go. I then received. What happens is you literally are receiving power from the divine source energy, which gave me the power, which put me in a soul conscious place to be present with my son, my daughter-in-law, and my 3 grandchildren to do what had to be done at that moment.
Beautiful, just
Yeah.
beautiful. And we can all pretty much understand how it might have been pre-Raj
Yes.
Yoga.
Yeah.
Very, very trying.
Yeah.
I mean, really. Okay, thank you so much for your honest share. How has it changed the habit of yours, Neeru, or your relationships at work or wherever you'd like to take this question? How has Raj Yoga meditation changed your life?
Sure.
Yes, there has been quite a difference in my awareness and my understanding. Because I work, I have family, and this Raj Yoga meditation, it felt like it gave me secret keys for a harmonious relationship. You know, for those who practice, and but it is like there is, what usually happens in my workplace, especially, a lot of situations came as soon as when I had taken that time it was COVID time. And there are a lot of personalities at my work. Like prior to this, I would be kind of criticizing and complaining about the attitude. If somebody's not talking respectfully, somebody is not respecting authority, or somebody is just out of alignment. So you just do necessary HR steps and stuff like that, and you start criticizing, complaining, and gossiping and stuff like that, which used to be like considered normal or a casual kind of a thing. But here we see that everyone is a beautiful angel, like a soul, a pure being. And for them, having that peace, that love, the purity, the happiness, that's their innate quality. It's innate means it is something you can't take it away. It's within them. But what we are learning is that we all come from our home and we are in this body to play a part. It's a script which we are playing. If I give you a paper and I say, I'm the director of this play, and this is exactly how you're going to read exactly or enact exactly how it's scripted for you. There is no complaint. Having that understanding, everybody's playing their beautiful part, and they are playing it for my benefit. It's for me, because it's an opportunity for me to see what comes within me. If there is anger, if there is irritation, if there is jealousy, if there's something, so that dirt is coming within me. They triggered it, which is fine. It's a situation. Outside situations, we cannot control. All we can control is within us. And if they are playing that beautiful part to help me see what's the dirt which is emerging within me that I need to work on.
So they
It's
don't know
actually a
it.
blessing,
They don't know it, but you know it.
but that's the change that came.
Right.
So in the interaction, even if there have been situations at work, in the family, in many other scenarios where while it's happening, it's very important to be rooted and grounded to your truth. And your truth is you're this peaceful, loving being, and so are they. And they are just playing that part to help me.
Right.
Nothing they're doing wrong. And it's an opportunity. So then attitude of gratitude actually comes. And the key is here, the secret is that you're in the middle of the situation. It's important to stay connected, as Sister Jane was saying, you're connected to the higher power, to God, to the Supreme, to the soul. And you're staying connected and your attention is there than what they are saying and having those questions in mind. So
Right.
basically the secret here is we don't question. There's no question mark in the mind. The mind will raise a lot of things. Why did they speak like this? What is their business? How can they do this? All this is nothing but a question mark. What we learn is don't question, just put a full stop. When the situation arises, somebody says, we just put a full stop, see what is coming within me that I need to work on, not questioning them, but it's about you,
Right.
that they are actually helping you. So you feel you don't lose that love and respect for them. And that's a beautiful transition that we encounter if we practice it.
So this leads us into method, and I'm going to bring it down to a very practical level. Someone's in your face at work or a family member or anybody. They're misbehaving. I think what you're describing is detachment. First, you have to understand that you're not, just because, I love this expression, just because someone asks you to dance, you don't have to say yes. So they're having a bad day. Or maybe they have this personality all the time. You don't have to enter into an interaction. So the first method we use is to detach. And we need to go upwards in order to do that. Am I hearing you correctly?
So for me, the first method, but the first thing you have to do is I have to be in my awareness. If I am thinking I'm Neeru, I'm the boss at my work, or I'm the mother at home, you have to listen to me. This is what I want. This is what is my expectation. Then I'm totally in the wrong. I'm off track. So the first method for me is I have to be in my awareness, in my seat of self-respect. I have to stabilize myself in my seat of self-respect. Who am I? Seeing self as a soul, that beautiful angel who's just playing a part, and seeing them as that soul just playing a role. And here, the brother soul, the sister soul is here for me. This drama is for me. It's not for them. They could be screaming or shouting. So that's the first step for me.
Beautiful, beautiful. And you know, if someone is in my face, they're having a bad day. But when I make a mistake, like last night, I had a horrible evening. One of my family members triggered a side of me that rarely comes out since I started studying here. And I was lost in it for a moment. And I had to recover. And I knew to just not talk to anybody, hang up the phone, not hang up on him, but hang up, and to just collect myself. We're allowed to pause. We're allowed to stop. But if they're in a bad place. So the other little secret I just want to throw in real quickly is that I've learned the power of surprising people by not having my old reaction. It's very powerful. Forgive me if I'm repeating myself. I've said it here before. But when they expect you to be defensive or arrogant, if you don't do that once, you've changed that game that was going downhill in your relationship. Okay, Jane, method? What would you like to talk about? How do you put this into practical use?
I could add more to that, but let Sister Jane go about it.
We'll come back to you.
Oh, wow. A method.
You want to take a
Um,
minute? Did I
no,
stop you
no,
from
no.
saying something?
About our
similar.
practical use.
Yeah.
of-
Okay, you want to talk about that and then Jane, you can hop in.
Yeah, so we can say
I'm
more
new at this.
about our practical experiences with this, because another great thing that I'm still in that journey. It's not that I'm there yet, I'm still walking this path which I have chosen, and different from where I was before, for those who knew me. And in this, I've seen there were never any pauses that I was taking. This has actually given me more insight and more introspection about how we get trapped in our mind. We become our mind. We don't have that freedom from the mind. We get caught up with the mind. This is one of the big benefits that I am still uncovering and peeling one layer after another, to know that I am the seed of my experiences. I'm sitting here with you all. This is an experience. My being with you, this moment was meant to be. It's an experience. What Sister Louise mentioned about her last evening was an experience. So we are the seed of all the experiences which comes to us, moment by moment, moment by moment. That's there. So we are illuminating experiences. But while we are leading our life, what I am kind of learning more is that I, the being, I'm always and constantly in my innate virtues of purity, peace, love, happiness, bliss, knowledge. But the mind which we have is doing its job. Just like an ocean where the waves are not still, mind is never still. Mind is constantly telling you unworthy. Mind is constantly telling, I'm in pain, I'm sad, I'm depressed, something is not right. How come this person said, that person said, how come this, that? There's the thoughts which are never, never ending. So in this practice, I am working on creating that separation, using mind and intellect as my tool. And I'm the master, that I use my mind in a way that serves me, but not get trapped in the mind. If there's somebody said, and the mind creates the thought of sadness, I say, I am sad, or I am in pain, I am depressed, I'm hurt. So I am hurt. And we think because this person is playing the part of being hurt, then we are hurt. My body is not well. So I am in so much pain, and we become that pain. We start being that pain of the body, but not understanding this I am. And that pain is an experience, but this I am is constant. This constant innate virtues. Pain is an experience. I am sad. I am is still the same beautiful being. Sad is just an experience.
Right. So
If we can take that, and try to have, though we're experiencing pain, we're experiencing the sensations on the body, we're experiencing those emotions, the thoughts, the images that mind holds. And we become that. So the key is to know you are separate. You're not that. You are the master of your mind, not the mind ruling over you and you becoming that. And I learned that especially when I have like sometime back pain, knee pain, any of the pain, how one would react is keep talking about that, keep worrying about that, keep discussing that. You go to the doctor. That's the only that you're wrapped up in that. So when you are the master, you know you are separate. You are not the body. You're the being using this body. And whatever happens, you take care. But you watch the sensation, you watch the pain, you watch the feeling and emotions of worry, of the past, of the future, anything coming. But you don't become that.
Right, we don't. So you're the one who brought up when we were talking about doing this. What happens when we kind of have a whoops and we fail or we make a mistake? What do you do with that? Because we're not perfect. We're not angels. We do have bodies. So very good. Address that? Or should we let Neeru keep?
Yeah. I mean, you have already covered so much.
What
of-
do we do when we
So,
really don't hit the mark like me last night?
Well, again, it's understanding that point that Sister Neeru was saying. Again, where do I go with it? Who am I? What is this really all about? Because the first thing, and I can only speak for myself, is the physical, that is seeing with these two eyes and forgetting the part of me that would really know what to do and how to handle something in a very in what we call the divine way, with those virtues, with that understanding, with that kindness, with that generosity. Where is that being at that moment? And yes, it's wonderful. These are all, as Sister Neeru mentioned, everything that comes my way is an opportunity for me to grow more into who I truly am. So every experience, no matter what it is, no matter how uncomfortable it is, no matter who that person is, where I'm going, how I'm going, what is coming to me at that moment, even if I don't want to hear it, I don't want to see it, I don't want to know about it. And I may not at that very moment, but what happens to me is later on, I have the opportunity to process it with that divine source. And this is what we really call soul consciousness. It is really that connection. That's why they call it soul consciousness, because it's soul connected to the divine soul, the supreme soul. And I literally then, when I remember to do that, I am literally pulling in that energy, that power, not energy or power that I would by having, and it's okay, to have a cup of coffee or so on, but it's another state of consciousness that I literally go into that literally gives me the energy to handle a situation, and it literally makes a difference in my body. So I could have been so tired, not feeling like I want to do anything at that moment, but the energy, the divine, the spiritual energy that I am literally receiving actually restores the body. So I literally feel, and I can feel it within moments. And that is the real gift, because what that does, it allows me then to take the next step. But it's a reminder, well, where did I get that? What was happening to me? How did I access it? The more I really, as Sister Neeru mentioned, it's that awareness. Where is my awareness at the moment? If I'm in that awareness that I'm literally accessing it from the divine source, who is, and again, the soul, the supreme soul, God, whoever you feel comfortable in calling that source. If I literally in that awareness at that moment, I can literally change. I can change that moment for myself and be that person that I really want to be. I want to be that kind, generous, compassionate person. But what gets in the way, as Neeru said, is the mind. The mind chatter will immediately stop me. That's what we call Maya. That's what we call the part that literally wants to take me away from this beautiful divine
Right.
source that will give me the right answers, that will help me, that will make my life easier, less stressful,
Thank you.
and knowing how to handle the situation.
Thank you. You've both been very, very clear, and it's wonderful, right? To think, and look how long we've studied, not very long at all. I just want to add one little piece, and then I'm looking at the clock. I want to have time for questions and comments from you, from Zoomers. I just want to say that one important thing I've learned is to not beat myself up when I fail myself. That is so, the mind that chatters will go to, you're a slug, it'll go to, how could you do that? And to click off the chatter and let the intellect, the soul's intellect take over, and remember who you are. And remember who you may have been in former lives when the world wasn't this bad. And you actually had a much more blissful time. And you go back far enough, you didn't even have a choice between good and evil because everything was the Garden of Eden. But more on that next time. Who would like to comment? I'll take the audience first. Brother Eric, if you have anyone on chat, we'll do that second. A comment or a question for our guests? Anybody? Yeah, sure. Wait for the mic. I hold it.
Mrs. Neeru, hi.
Hello.
I wanted to probably hear from you. How is it that in the way that you are dealing with the issues, if you are at work or at home, and then something triggers something, and you say that you just have to, you connect. But how do you know that the other side, which is also a good side for you, regardless of what they are doing, how do you know that they're not going to take you for granted and that you, in the meantime, are going to be piling up emotions because the other person is not aware of what you are doing?
That's a very beautiful question. So, like Sister Louise was asking before, there are moments where we have hiccups, as we all are in this journey. And there are other moments where we don't. So to answer one of the point that you asked, what happens? Trust me, there are numerous situations. And all those situations which I see as my attitude has changed to see beyond. If I'm doing that work where even if they are saying things which on the surface, anyone would say, how can you not react? How can you not answer back? How could you not? There are times where I have answered back. There are times I'm going to set the moments where we lose it, right? One of the methods that is suggested is for us to take pause every half an hour, because what happens is when I'm at work, I have meetings nonstop. I'm meeting people, talking to people, nonstop working, and you get back in that person mode, role mode, and then you're interacting. And that's the time where I've noticed that there could be a slip, that you're not connected to the source. You're not charged because you did not take out the time to charge your phone. Like we use the phone and we have to charge it, otherwise it runs out. We did not take out the pause to connect to yourself first, going inward and then upward. When I have not done that, then there are moments that it happens. And when that happens, so I'm just answering the other question, which was, when that does happen, then you don't beat yourself up.
Right.
You say, it's okay. It was in the drama. It was meant to happen like that. You put a full stop. You see what you could have done differently. Was I stuck in the relationship? Was I stuck? Was the expectation? Was there bondage? What was it that pulled me that I got into that? So that's the slips that do happen. And we all are in here to learn, to grow. And we're just part of that. And coming back to your question, if somebody's out of alignment, There are people at work, sometimes they're out of alignment. If people have been out of alignment, but I am doing my internal checking and I'm not saying anything, but I am seeing their beauty. I'm seeing them in their truth, that they are not what they are projecting. There is that beautiful being within. There is a different vibration we are having. You don't have to speak words. It's the change in the vibration that the soul to soul connection does not need words. It needs that vibration. And I've been in situations where I would be with people where you cannot even sit a second of what is being said to me, or trashing Neeru, or saying whatever, or accusing, or whatever it may be, because it's their part. But if I'm seeing them in their truth and I'm connected to the Father and their Father and everybody,
Yeah.
and I'm seeing their beauty while they're talking, trust me, I've experienced that they melt, they change. Relationships get beautiful.
Yeah.
Any things which have been tangled for years, just seeing them, see self as the angel, them as the angel, and going beyond. Because if this is
Yeah.
a script, this is a drama, and they are playing it for you.
Right.
If we can get that down,
Well, you have to practice it. You have to experience it.
you
The
have to-
vibrational energy is highly
Right.
underrated.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
the most, you don't have to speak. I'm learning, believe it or not to
the
speak.
power of
I want to
thought.
move on to another question, if
Sure.
that's okay. Who else has a question or a comment?
Did I answer your question?
Yes, fully. Yes. Brother Eric, do we have anybody on chat? I just want to make sure we don't. Anybody?
No questions.
No
at this
chatters,
time
okay.
on chats and
That's all right. Jennifer, okay? And it's, how much time would you like for the
No, that's fine.
meditation at
That's
the
fine.
end?
That's only a few minutes.
I want to know how many,
3-4 minutes.
okay, we'll keep it.
That's we still have time.
I just wanted to share my own observation with all of this, which is that this practice is a transmission. And absolutely so much of it's such a privilege to study with people that are more seasoned, because when I come here on Thursday night, I receive a transmission.
Right.
It's not
Absolutely.
the words.
Absolutely.
And I had a really profound experience doing Seva a few weeks ago, and someone who studies here just said one thing to me, asked me to do one little thing. And it was the most powerful transmission. And it was this person's practice. And all they asked me to do was to organize some cards. But I'm telling you, it changed everything in that moment. And then once I finished this very simple task, my interactions with the public were just really beautiful.
Yeah.
So
And that,
Before we conclude, I would love to have each of you individually in your own minds think of one thing you learned here, just one little thing. Maybe it's a habit. Maybe we know we tend to do the same things with different people over and over again. Can you pick in your mind one thing you do, and can you kind of make a promise to yourself to work on that one thing with your intellect, with your higher power, with your vibrational energy? So I'm just going to give you a second to think about that. And if anyone would like to share something that motivated you to change tonight. We've heard a lot of stuff here.
can I?
Sure.
Yeah, can I just say one thing in reference to what has already been said, the power of vibrations? I just want to share and thank you, Sister Neeru, because she covered so much. I just want to say that as a result of the period of time that I spent during those 7 months, the changes, and again, it has nothing to do with it. It is the vibrations. It is what we call Sakash. You do not even have to be present in front of that individual. But you literally, if you're in that place of soul consciousness, soul to the supreme soul, you literally can send out those beautiful angelic vibrations, the divine virtue vibration, to whomever you want, wherever you are. You could be 100 miles away from that individual. They will receive it. And I just want to say, as a result of all this, and I don't say much when I'm present in the family, it is those, again, it is that source which allows the vibrations to be present there. And now the improvements, the bonding that has occurred with all the family members, and each are now going in a very positive direction to help themselves as a result of this incognito. And again, I'm just the instrument, but it's the incognito ability to be present, to give the vibrations. And again, you do not have to say anything. It is more powerful to just be present,
Right.
knowing you're in that.
And I've
flow.
watched her do this for months, and it's amazing what she's achieved with this family. So before we turn to the concluding meditation, it's getting late. Anybody want to share one thing that impacted them this evening? I'm saying them because we don't say he, she anymore. No? Okay, Sister Neeru.
I would talk one more thing about the
Sure. And then I have a
Raj
few
Yoga
quick
meditation.
announcements before the meditation.
So for the Raj Yoga meditation, one thing that was a benefit for me was I got introduced to a family, a Brahmin family, which we call Brahma Kumaris. And this is one of the beautiful family. And I feel very fortunate to be part of this family. And in this family, just like we eat food for the body, we study together, which is called Murli. And it's a food for the soul. That is God talking to me, God speaking to me. So one of the things is the benefits is you are part of this family. And here as Jennifer mentioned that you are here and she was doing her sharing and she got something. So when we meet, so we try to come and meet, like Sundays, we have our knowledge, like Murli, which we read. We interact, we talk, and there are times, and the family supports a lot. Sometimes we do happen that we are not able to see our flaws, that if there's some situation, this is a very important thing which I learned and I would like to share with you. If you encountered in your life, one situation is repeating constantly and the magnitude is increasing, it means there's something within you that you still need, you're not clean about, because of which that situation is coming again and again to align you to your truth. There are times, because being a new student initially I was, and still it's never end to our learning. For those who have been very experienced for many years, we do share, we do talk, and they try to show us a different perspective that we may not have seen clearly. So studying together every day, taking in this nectar of knowledge every day, really helps us see the beauty within us and the others.
And if you want to achieve that, first, the beginner's course, if you haven't taken it, something that is so valuable. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I wish we didn't have to stop, but it's already 8 o'clock. Few quick announcements before we do a little concluding meditation for a few minutes.
Sure.
Okay. Next week, we have Sister Anjani, who most of you know, talking about beneficial thinking. And in 2 weeks, we have a special guest, Dr. Manoj Matnani, who is going to talk about mending the mind. So make sure you don't miss him. On Saturday, the 22nd, from 11 to 1, we have in-person only. Sister Sandhya is doing another Saturday morning session. So she's doing the power to let go. That's on, well, you probably are on the email. If you're not, you can sign up. And the flyers are on the back wall as you exit the bulletin board. And there's a Raj Yoga meditation course that is in person every Saturday from 10 to 11:15 in Levittown. And lastly, we have, when is the meditation for world peace?
16.
It's the 16th? It's this weekend, Sunday?
Yeah, every third.
Okay, every third Sunday, and that's in person right here. Okay, so would you be kind enough to take us out in a meditative commentary? And thank you both for so much. Beautiful evening.
Sweetest, beloved, long now found you. Wake up. Wake up to your truth, my child. You are my beautiful children. You are my diamond. You are that beautiful diamond, my shining star, to whom I have willed all my powers, all my virtues, all my love, my peace, my happiness. That is your truth, my child. You are those beautiful angels. See yourself the way I see you. Surrender. Surrender your mind to me. See the beautiful vision I hold for you. See yourself the way I see you. You live in my heart. There is not a single moment I don't remember you. Not a single moment passes. I don't think about you, my child. I have come to show you your truth, to help you, guide you, teach you, so that you can clean up and not get trapped with the illusion of your mind, the illusion of your thoughts that makes you feel unworthy of my love, that makes you feel unequal and not equal to me. Which father or mother would say my child should be lower than us? Parent, father, mother, they want the children to be higher than them. They give their heart, all they got. And I'm giving you all I got. Take it. Trust me. Hold my hand. Hold my hand of the guidance, the directions I give you, the teachings I give you. Hold my hand. Trust me. I'm showing you your beauty. That's nowhere outside. It's not in any object. It's not in any possession. It's not in any title. It's not in any money. all that will perish. The beauty is in you. The peace is in you. The happiness is in you. Just awaken, my child, to your truth. Now is the moment. Now, live in now. Who knows tomorrow? Who knows the next moment? Now is what you got. And you are eternal peace. You are eternal love. Live that. Be that. And spread the love that I willed you to my other children and to the rest of the world. You be the change to make this world beautiful, 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 my child. These are the words my Papa, my God, whispers in my ears. I love you, Baba. I love you, God. Om Shanti. Thank you.
Om Shanti. So
Thank
just
you.
to bring it full circle, Raj means king. Yoga means action. Meditation is not silence in your head. At this point, meditation is going out there, getting off the mat, and bringing the knowledge. That's how we have lasting, unlimited peace. Om Shanti. See you next week.
Om Shanti.
Thank you so much. And thank you, Brother Eric.
And we do have a comment from Jane Zilpawar. Different perspective, how to see things on soul level, connect with myself and divine, be grounded. Thank you so very much. So,
Thank you,
Jane.
Jane.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Thank you.
Om Shanti.
Thank you.